Hi everyone, it's Andrea here, and really enjoying doing some training on my what inspires me, and I'm going to interview myself. That'll be fun. So, what the first question is: what inspired me to consider Young Living as a business? So, prior to being invited to a Young Living class, I'd been using essential oils for health and skincare, etc., for about 15 years when I discovered Young Living. And scarily enough, I almost didn't go to the class because I thought it was the same company. I'd been using their oils for a long time. I'd actually been sharing those oils with multitudes of my friends and never been offered a way to benefit from that other than a few party gifts along the way, but never really benefited in a financial way. In fact, I was just spending a lot of money on oils. So at the time that I was invited to the class, I was actually looking for some ease of some financial pressure, and I was also looking for more effective oils, I guess. I didn't realise. So what are my top 3 passions in life? Well, anyone who knows me knows that I love Jesus, and I'm passionate about sharing joy and light and loving other people. And so I like to use the acronym of JOY. J is for Jesus. He's my number one homie, as the young people would say. Oh, that sounds really trite, doesn't it? But no, he's my number one. Everything else stems from there. The O stands for others, and the O is really, I'm passionate about my family. We fought hard, particularly for our eldest to adopt from overseas, and so I'm very passionate about my kids and for their future freedom. And others also includes friends and my extended family and strangers, people that I meet either through my job in dementia care or just people I meet when I used to be able to leave the house and go out. The Y stands for yourself, so loving Jesus, others and yourself. And I think through the journey of Young Living, I've learnt to be passionate about caring for myself. That at the end of the day, I'm the storyteller, and mothers are often the glue that hold families together. And if I don't look after myself, the whole thing falls apart. And so caring for myself through the oils, through emotional health, through physical health, using the supplements, and caring for our home, which is also myself, by creating a non-toxic home has been is a big part of why I'm passionate about life, but also about Young Living. Secondly, I'm passionate about storytelling. I believe that everyone has a story to tell, and I'm passionate about actually writing and recording those stories and the effect that that has on the brain. So I'm a neuro-trained occupational therapist and fascinated with how God has wired our nervous system, but in particular the grey matter up here, and the effect of writing and journaling on our brains, and of course the effect of essential oils on our brain health and our mind health. And the third thing that I'm passionate about is creating something lasting for my family, for other families, and creating a community that cares for one another in lots of different ways, including prayer and oils. So what do I love about Young Living and Young Living products? Oh my gosh, everything. I've been with Young Living for just on 3 years, and I think what really excited me at the beginning were the blends. So I'd used single oils and in this previous company and made my own blends, but to discover blends in our product guide that are called things like joy and hope and forgiveness, and to look a bit deeper and realise that Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, he blended those blends for a purpose, not for profit. So when you look into what's in those oils blends and what they're for, it just blows me away. And I know that he used to receive information from on high as to what to put in things, and then he would blend, and then he would seek a name for those blends. So that excites me. I love the fact that it's a company that's sustainable and life-giving, and not just in terms of the way that they grow their product and harvest their product and look after the earth, their water usage, their seed to seal promise, but also they're life-giving in a couple of other ways that really excited me. One is that when they partner with other companies, yes, those companies have to meet the seed to seal. So if they're using a partner farm, that has to be at the same standard. But they're actually giving livelihood to those families, often in impoverished parts of the world. So they're creating jobs for hundreds of people in their farms around the world that are owned by Young Living, but also propping up often mum and dad businesses who are growing plant matter for essential oils. So I love that. The other part of life-giving from Young Living is the Young Living Foundation. And this really floats my boat because I love a win-win. And I love the direction that the Young Living Foundation is going in this year to educate and empower and inspire young people particularly. But the way that Young Living goes about it is that they finance all of the administrative costs for the foundation, and therefore 100% of what we give, either through rounding up our orders or specific donations, go to the project in mind. And I think, for instance, about Hope for Justice. So my girls and my son come from Ethiopia, and one of the places that there are lighthouses, which are Hope for Justice's rescue houses for girls who are taken out of slavery, primarily slavery, that's where these girls are restored and offered hope. And the Young Living Foundation partners with agencies like Hope for Justice. So when I buy my oils, which are supporting me and my family, I'm supporting girls who, through no fault of their own, have had incredible trauma. And I know that my girls could have been in that situation quite easily. They were orphans and they were vulnerable. And so that Young Living Foundation really, it's not something we talk about every day, but it's part of my passion and why I love Young Living. So why do I want to share these products with others? Well, I'd be selfish not to. I mean, I experienced a significant health crisis last year to the point where I couldn't work, I couldn't sleep, I was in pain 24/7, and I put down my fast recovery and turnaround time from that terrible process to Young Living and its supplements, and particularly to one of its supplement drinks. So why would I not want to share that with people? And it's not up to me whether they accept that or not. It's up to them. But if I don't tell them, then I've kept it to myself. And why would you hide a good thing? What does success look like to me? It's no money worries, and it's a really small thing. But not having to check the bank account app on my phone multiple times a day to make sure that there's enough money to cover the bills that are coming out. You can see by my grey hair, I'm nearing retirement. So for me, success looks like retirement that isn't just making ends meet, but actually involves travel, good health, and being able to give to others in a variety of ways: my time, my energy, my money. What will change for my family when I'm successful? Well, I'm going to retire my husband first and foremost. He's in his 60s. I want him out of a job that doesn't value him and onto our property and enjoying life. I want to quit my challenging but stressful job, or at least reduce the number of days of work, and I want to be debt-free as we enter our retirement years. So thanks for listening. Bye. Bye for now.